Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Ultimate Decades Challenge. We are in the year 1381 and we have arrived here in the shoemaker home, and this is Porter Shoemaker. We have arrived here with him because he has a birthday and we are going to roll for him to become an elder. For this roll, he needs to roll either a 6, 9, 14, or 20 in order to survive. He does not have very good odds in moving on to the elder roll, but we are going to pull up our dice and give that a roll for him to see if he is going to be able to make it or not, and see if he's going to be able to survive his roll. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull up our dice and give that a roll and see how he fares. He rolls a 19 and does not survive, so we are going to go ahead and roll a d10 and see how long he's going to be with us. He's going to be with us for 2 years. Let's go ahead and put that information on the timeline and we will continue on. We will go ahead and age him up to an elder, and he will have 2 years with us, and then we are going to be losing Porter. Alright, so he is going to be passing away in 1383. And let's go ahead and we will go back into the game here and age Porter up to an elder, and we will get his photo for the family tree. Why did that not work? Let me try that again.
Oh, Jorm. Carzini.
Alright, let's go ahead and hop into cast with him and give him his makeover, and then we will get his photo for the family tree. Okay, so there is Porter Shoemaker and his elder look. We are going to go ahead and get his photo for the family tree, and then we are going to hop back into the game and we're going to go see Leopold Petechia, who is aging up to his adult status, and we're going to see if Leopold Petechia can age up to an adult. We have arrived here at the Petechia household. This is Leopold. Leopold needs to roll anything higher than a 7 in order for him to make it to his adult roll and to survive that. So we are going to go ahead and pull up the dice and give that a roll for him and see if he's going to be able to survive that. So let's go ahead and roll and see if he gets anything higher than a 7, and he does. That is going to give him another 40 days on the calendar. So we will go ahead and put him on the timeline and age him up to a adult. So let's go ahead and go over to our timeline and add him to the timeline now. And now we are going to go ahead and carry on and age him up to the status of young adult, or I'm sorry, of adult, and give him, find out what his traits are that he got as an adult here. Oh my gosh, he's dragging his little one. Okay, go ahead and age up Leopold. There you go. All right, so Leopold has aged up. He is a Leo. He dislikes children. He is perky. As we know, he was a widower. He's part of the working class, and he has high self-esteem. He is a collector and an everyman sim. We are now going to head over and see Estrid Goodwell, and we are going to age up Estrid Goodwell to a child. Okay, we have arrived here in the monastery. That is where little Estrid is. As we know, her parents are no longer with her, and she is an orphan. She is here in the monastery being raised by the priest and the nuns. So we are just going to go ahead and we are going to roll and see if she is going to be able to age up to a child. For that, she can't roll a 4 or a 13. So let's go ahead and pull up our dice and give that a roll. She rolls a 13 and is going to actually need to roll and find out if she's going to be able to survive or not. So we are going to roll a d4 and, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to roll a, not a d4. We're going to roll a d6 and find out how long she's going to get. So she's going to get 4 years. All right, so we will go ahead and put her on here as when she's going to be dying on the timeline, and then we'll age her up to a child and get her photo for the family tree as well. So let's go ahead and put her on the timeline that she's dying in 1385. All right. And then we are going to head over to the game here and go ahead and age her up to a child, and then we'll get her makeover and photo for the family tree. All right, so let's hop into Cass and do just that. So her traits are extrovert, calm, and proper, and let's go ahead and do her makeover now. And there is Estrid Goodwell after her makeover. Let's go ahead and get her photo for the family tree. And then we are going to go see Nadia Petechia and age her up to a toddler. Okay, we have arrived here in the Petechia home. This is little Nadia here. We are just going to be aging her up to a toddler. As toddlers, they can't roll a 1, 4, 8, 12, or 15. So we are just going to go ahead and open up our dice here and give Nadia a roll and see what she gets. She rolls a 4 and is scheduled to die. We're going to roll a d4 to see how long she's going to get, and she's going to die immediately. So let's go ahead and we will age her up, do the makeover, get her photo for the family tree, and then we will take her away. So let's go ahead and hop into Cass and age her up to a toddler. So she was a calm infant. As a toddler, Nadia is going to be adorable and have an easy temperament. And let's do her quick makeover here. Alright, so there is Nadia Petechia. Let's get her photo for the family tree. And let's go ahead and jump into the game, and we will unfortunately have to take Nadia away by killing her. And we will also need to roll the dice and see what it is that she's dying from. So let's go ahead and spin the dice and see, or spin the wheel and find out what it is that Nadia is dying from. So let's go ahead and give that a spin. Oh, well, I guess she died from her birthday, so I don't need to spin that. This says diphtheria, but that's not true. She died from a birthday roll, so let's disregard that. She died from a birthday roll. Because this wasn't a scheduled death outside of a birthday roll. This was an actual birthday roll. So she died from her birthday roll. I'm clearly not with it today. So she's dying from a birthday roll, and let's go ahead and take her away. All right, so let's go see Nadia, and we are going to have to kill her now. And so we will let's do death by freezing. It is cold outside, so we'll just go ahead and do that. And we'll be taking Nadia away from her family. Super sad. It's really, really tragic. I'm not sure which one of her parents is going to find her, but I'm sure one of them will come in and end up witnessing her death. And we just need to find out when Nadia was born so we can engrave her epitaph. Oh, Benedict just became a vampire. Okay, you kind of messed with my story there, buddy. But as you remember, Alba had turned him into a vampire because she didn't want him to be dying and leaving her. And then she ended up dying in childbirth, so now he's a vampire without her. Nadia was born in 1379 to 1381 here. And no one has come and witnessed her death. She died all by her lonesome, which is super tragic. I'm just going to come get Otis to grab her urn here, and then we'll take it to the cemetery and put her in her final resting place here. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to travel and go to the cemetery, and then he will place her in her final resting place. All right, so we have arrived here at the cemetery. Let's go ahead and place her in her final resting place here. We'll just place Nadia down. There is an empty space here, so I'll put her there. And then we are going to head over and we are going to go visit Georgina McNally. It's actually time for her to pass away. So we're going to go see Georgina McNally, and we're going to find out what she's dying from and take her away. Okay, so we have arrived here at the McNally residence. This is Georgina. As we know, her and Amir were married and have been married for quite some time. They were unable to have children. They've just been together and as a couple living together, but it is now time for her to pass away. We are going to find out what it is that she's dying from. So let's go ahead and open up the wheel and give that a spin and see what it is she is going to pass away from. So she is passing away from typhoid. It is a communicable disease, which means that we are going to have to need to roll for Amir and find out if he also is going to get typhoid. So we are going to look at our typhoid information here. Typhoid has a 90% chance of being caught by someone else. So we are going to open up our death percentage wheel, and we're going to spin for Amir and see if he's going to get that. He has to roll anything higher than 90% in order to not have to roll for that. So let's see what he gets. And he did not, so he is going to have to roll and see if he's going to pass away from typhoid as well. So let's go ahead and see what his odds are for that. For that, he has to basically roll either a 9 or a 13 on the dice. So let's go to him out here. And let's roll for him first and see if he's going to make it. So for a 9 or a 13, he rolls a 1. So both of them are going to pass away from typhoid. We're going to lose both Georgina and Amir. Let's go ahead and move someone else into this house so they can grab the tombstones. I'm not sure who I can pull in. I'm going to pull in maybe one of the nuns. So let's do that really quickly, and then we will take both of these and we will do that. So let's do that now really quickly, and then I will take them both away and take them to the cemetery, and then I will be back. Okay, we have taken care of Amir and Georgina McNally. We have taken them both, and they are both now deceased. We are just going to place both of them here in the cemetery in their final resting place. And then we are going to put Beatrice back into her monastery where she belongs. She is now gloomy after losing her parents. Those were her parents that she just dealt with losing. So we are going to put her back in the monastery, and then we will continue on. We now need to go and see Mackenzie Like, because he is also scheduled to die. So we will go and see him and find out what he is dying from. But first, let's put Beatrice back in the monastery. Okay, we have made it here to the Like residence. As you can see, Carlie is very, very expecting. They have tried for another baby before it was time for him to go ahead and pass on. We are going to go ahead and we are going to find out what he is passing away from. So we will go ahead and spin the wheel and find out what that is. Alright, so he is passing away from smallpox. That, once again, is a communicable disease. We are going to have to roll for Carlie as well as for Honora to find out if they're going to get smallpox. So we will take a look at our timeline and see how contagious that is. Smallpox is 30% chance. So we are going to go ahead and roll for them and see if they are going to be able to make it. They have to roll greater than 30%. So we'll roll for Carlie first. She needs to roll anything higher than 30% in order to not have to roll the dice. And she has done that with 81%. We love that. And then we're going to roll for Honora. She again needs anything greater than 30% in order to not have to roll for smallpox. And she has also done that. So both of them have survived the smallpox outbreak here. They are not going to die from that. We are only going to have to take Mackenzie. So we will go ahead and take Mackenzie Like from smallpox and take him away. Where are you, Mackenzie? There you are. All right, so he's going to be deceased. It is currently February of 1381 in the game. And smallpox is what he's dying from. All right, perfect. So we've got that put here in the timeline. Let's go ahead and kill off Mackenzie.
Fina.
All right, so she is distraught over the loss of her husband. Obviously, she would be. She was not expecting to lose him so soon, but he did acquire smallpox and has passed away. He was born in 1350 and has passed away here in 1381. He was quite young still, but he has unfortunately perished here due to this illness. And as we know, she is expecting their child. She is, very pregnant. As you can see, she should be having their baby fairly soon. And hopefully she will have them an heir, because they currently only have a Nora and they do need a son. So we are hoping that she is going to have a little boy for them so that she can have someone to carry on the like name. That is our hope for this family. So 1350 to 1381. And let's go ahead and have her put this in her inventory, and then we'll take him to his final resting place. All right, so we have arrived here at the cemetery. We are just going to place Mackenzie like here where he can rest in peace. And we love that. We are almost full with this row as well. We've lost so many Sims. But let's go ahead and we are going to head over to our main household now. And we will continue on with the game. We do need to, in our second portion of the day, we do have some more birthdays. And then we have some try for babies that we need to get under our belt, as well as some things that are going to be taking place that are not necessarily going to be the greatest. So we have a jam-packed part 2, not part 2, but for the second portion of part 1 here that is going to be taking place. But let's go ahead and go check in on our main household. All right, we have arrived here at the main household. We are just going to check on everyone and make sure everyone is doing okay. It does look like we need to send Roger to work. He is currently late for work, but that is fine. We are just going to make sure that he can take care of the horse here. And so we're going to send him to take care of the horse. And he can take care of some of the things with the horse here that need to be taken care of. I am just going to make sure that everyone's needs are okay. It looks like Florence is feeling a little bit sad, but that's probably just because she was feeling a little bit neglected. The children were kind of left to their own devices here for a little bit. So, that is unfortunate, but we know that that is sometimes the case. As we do know, Diana is expecting, so she is pregnant currently right now and will be having a baby pretty soon. We hope that she is having a son, because this family does need an heir as well. And so we love that for them. We are just going to have them come out and take care of some of the plants here. It looks like this apple tree is dead that needs to be disposed of. And so there are some plants here that need to be taken care of. So we're just going to have them come out and dispose of the plant and do a little bit of weeding in the garden. Just some things that need to be taken care of, clearly. It looks like Xavier is writing a letter. Have you ever heard of something called the motive trials? Apparently they take a bunch of Sims and put them in some remote place and let them battle it out like royally. Do you think you'd want to be a part of something like that? Only if it lasts less than a fortnight. No, it only ends when there is one sim left standing. If it only lasted a fortnight, that just wouldn't be epic enough. Okay, Xavier, if you say so. All right, so we have our plants that are doing, pretty good here, which is great. We absolutely love that. I'm just going to have her come and, check on everything. We love that. She's like, I don't really want to check on anything. I wanted you to weed the plants. So I really wish that you would do that instead of going and doing whatever it is that you are going to do. All right, so I'm just going to have her do a little bit of weeding, and we will get Roger here to come and take care of some of the animals. We definitely need to clean the shed and clean the coop and collect the eggs. Maybe he can even clean the cow and milk the cow and feed the cow. So we'll have him come out and tend to the animals while Diana is dealing with some of the gardening, which will be fantastic if they can work together as a team on this farm here and knock out some of these chores, which will be wonderful. The girls upstairs seem to be doing pretty good. Their needs seem to be fine, which is fantastic. I still am having some issues with, selecting Sims and being able to see what their needs are, and I'm just having troubles. I don't know what the problem is. It's only on this save that I'm having these troubles. So I don't know if it is mod related or what that's, problem is. And I'm worried to take all of my mods out because I'm worried that things aren't going to work like they're supposed to. So I haven't really tested taking the mods out and seeing if that fixes it. But I may have to actually start doing that to see if I can get my game working like it's supposed to again. So I will probably, over my break, anyway, I'm recording this before my break, so before over my break I will probably get some testing done on the game and see about trying to get this all fixed up, so that'll be good. All right, we just need you to grab yourself a bite to eat because you're clearly hungry. Maybe I can get her to come and cook something. Maybe we can do some, let's do chunky vegetable stew. All right, so Diana's going to make some chunky vegetable stew. That'll make some food for the family. That way everyone can go ahead and get something to eat, because I'm not sure whose needs are actually the ones that are showing up on my screen, but somebody's hungry. So she'll go ahead and cook. That way whoever is hungry can go ahead and eat, which will be fantastic. We absolutely love that. And then we will continue on with this, them taking care of themselves. And tomorrow, which is going to be here before you know it, because we are already currently in March of 1381, and in April of 1381 we have to go and have a couple of our community members try for babies, and Carlie should be going into labor in that portion of time as well. So we'll be having a baby, which will be exciting news. And then we have some historical facts to go over, as well as a Peasants Revolt that is going to be going on. So we'll be dealing with that. And we are going to have to be rolling the dice for some of our Sims. And I am not sure how I feel about that, but I'm hoping that we aren't going to lose a lot of people, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Oh, this whole time there's food down here. So at least she did go ahead and make that stew. Everyone's going to go ahead and come down and grab themselves a bite to eat, which is fantastic. It does look like Roger is still tending to the animals, which we absolutely love because we definitely needed that. He's like, I can't deal with some of this stuff that you're wanting me to deal with because, the cow's been gone ahead and went into the shed. So he can't clean and feed and milk the cow, which is unfortunate. So he's just going to go ahead and go on inside and grab himself a bite to eat as well. Everyone's going to go ahead and get their tummies filled up, which we absolutely love because we definitely want everyone to be filled up and not be starving. So that's wonderful news. But we do love that he went ahead and cleaned the sheds, and everyone seems to be in better shape as far as the animal care goes. Okay, perfect. And Edith is upstairs asleep.
Oh, think well.
All right, so she's just cleaning everything up, and then we're going to hopefully give Florence a bath. Florence is feeling pretty grungy, and so we'll get her cleaned up. Hopefully, someone will give her a bath. Well, Roger went in and tried to talk to her about a bath, and she was like, absolutely, I'm not having it. Okay, seriously, you need a bath. Okay, he's like, you're going for a bath whether you want it or not. You smell. Wonderful. Alright, so Diana's just cleaning up around the house, making everything kind of tidy. We absolutely love that. Things are going really well here in the household. It is currently March. Like I said, they're about to head off to bed because they do need to get themselves a little bit of much needed rest. I'm just going to queue up for everyone to go ahead and go off to bed here. And we will let them go ahead and get some rest for the evening. But I am going to queue for them to head off to sleep. They need to go to bed for the evening, and so we'll get them some rest. And then in the morning, we're going to head on over and we're going to go see Abby McGrath. And we're going to have Abby McGrath try for a baby with her spouse. And they are going to hopefully be able to try for that baby. So let's go ahead and head over to Abby McGrath's place, and we will see them. All right, so we have arrived here at the home of Abby McGrath. We are just going to go ahead and get her to try for a baby with Peter here, and hopefully they can go ahead and get themselves pregnant. As we know, they have two little girls, Lily and Anessa. They do need to go ahead and have themselves an heir, so we are going to just get them to go and try for a little one, and hopefully they can go ahead and get themselves pregnant. It says that he likes physical intimacy. We're going to say yes, he does. She's like, can we go ahead and try for a baby? And he's like, yeah, let me just go ahead and take care of the little one here. And she's like, okay, that's fantastic. You do that. So they're going to go on up here. They are going to try for a baby, and then we will have her go and pee on a piece of wheat, see if they are successful in this, if she is able to actually be pregnant. Hopefully she is, and they will be expecting, and Lord willing, they'll be having a boy. Let's see what the verdict is on this, and if she's pregnant. And she is eating for two. We absolutely love that for her. So Abby is expecting. We are now going to go ahead and we're going to head over to see Genevieve Petechia. I believe her name's Petechia. And we're going to get Genevieve to try for a baby. All right, we have arrived here with Genevieve. I don't know why she's standing on the table, but she most certainly is. We are just going to have her go ahead and try for a baby with her husband as well, and see if they can go ahead and try for that baby. Oh, her and Otis are too sad. Probably because they just lost a little one. So they're too sad to try for a baby. All right, so that's not looking good for us. Let's get them to take a steamy shower, and then maybe they can get in the mood for that. So we'll just get them to kind of take a steamy shower. Maybe it'll get them in a better mood. If that gets them in a little bit of a mood where they're wanting to obviously be romantic, then hopefully we can let them try for a baby. And if it doesn't work, then we will continue on. We do have a birthday for Amabel Like. She does need to age up to a child. So we are going to go see Amabel Like. So let's go see her now. Okay, so we have arrived here at the Like residence. This is Amabel here. She is aging up into a child. We just need to roll to see if she can do that. As we know, she can't roll a 4 or a 13. We are just going to pull up our dice and give that a roll. So let's go ahead and roll and see what she gets. She has rolled a 5 and is going to get 28 more days. So we are going to go ahead and add that on to the timeline. All right, so Amabel Like is going to age up to a teen in 1388. And then we are going to go ahead and age her up to a child now. Let's go and do that, and then we'll get her makeover and her photo for the family tree. Right, she aged up as a movie buff, perky, and a cat lover, and let's go ahead and get her makeover done. There is Amabel Like, and let's go ahead and get her photo for the family tree. And now we are going to go and we're going to see Edith Goodwell, and we're going to be aging her up to a toddler. So let's go see Edith Goodwell now. Okay, so we have arrived here in the house of the main household. Here is Edith. We are just going to roll for her to become a toddler. She can't roll a 1, 4, 8, 12, or 15. Let's go ahead and pull up our dice and see what she gets. So let's go ahead and give that a roll. She rolls a 13 and survives. She is going to get 16 more days on the calendar. So let's go ahead and put her on the timeline. And let's go ahead and hop into Cass and age her up now to a toddler. And we are going to give her her makeover and her photo for the family tree. So she was a sunny infant, and as a toddler, she is going to have the traits of imaginative and plucky. And let's go ahead and give her her makeover now. All right, there is Edith Goodwell. Let's go ahead and get her photo for the family tree. And we can hop back into the game. We're going to go and we're going to see Simon Petechia now. He is scheduled to pass away, so let's go and visit Simon Petechia. All right, we have arrived here at the war camp with Simon Petechia. And as we know, he is scheduled to die. We are just going to roll on the wheel and find out what it is that is taking him from us. So let's give that a spin. And it's alcoholism that's taken him from us. So it would seem that being at war, he has started drinking and he has died from alcoholism. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to kill him, and we will take him away.
What's up? Ali,
Everyone is really upset by the loss of him. Most of these people are family, definitely close friends, and they have lost him here at the war camp. That is very tragic indeed, and they're really upset by that. They were all hoping that they were all going to get home soon. So to lose him is a grave reminder that this is serious and that, you know, they might not all get home. So they are really distraught over this news. And Simon was born in 1334. So we are going to engrave his epitaph as 1334 to 1381. And we will just put him here in Darren's inventory. And let's let Darren go ahead and travel and take him to the cemetery really quickly. All right, so Darren's going to go ahead and place Simon here in the cemetery, and we'll put him in his final resting place next to this lovely tree here, and we are going to go ahead and send him back on to the war camp. All right, go on back, Darren, to the war camp here, and we will put on the timeline that Simon has passed away from alcoholism. I will update that on the timeline. And then we are going to head over, and once Darren gets back to the war camp, we'll go see Carlie, because as we know, she's going to be going into labor soon. So we want to see her. So let's go ahead and we'll get him home, and then we'll go see Carlie. All right, so let's go ahead. You're freezing to death. Hold on. Let's go ahead and go see Carlie. Okay, so we have arrived here in the home of the residents. As you can see, Carlie is pretty uncomfortable. Is she in labor already? Possibly. Let's go and see if she can have the baby. She can, so she's in labor currently. Let's go ahead and have her baby.
Oh, ow. Oh.
All right, Carlie, let's go ahead and have this little one. Let's hope that it's a little boy, because we do need an heir for this family really badly. It's a girl. All right. That's okay that it's a girl. I was really hoping for an heir because we definitely needed an heir for this family, but that's okay. We are going to go ahead and give a spin for the girl wheel and find out what we're going to name this little one. We are going to name this little one Acelia. So Acelia, and it is a single birth. So we are going to just go ahead and roll our dice for mom and baby. As we know, mom can't roll a 1. Mom rolls a 2. That was so close. Baby needs an odd 8, 10, or 20. Baby rolls a 8 and survives. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our timeline, and we are going to update that mom has had Acelia. Acelia has been born. And then we are going to go ahead and we are going to add it to the info tab under Carlie here. She is the daughter of Mackenzie and Carlie. She is the 5th generation female. She was born in April of 1381. Oh. Let's try that again. April of 1381. She is alive. And she is of British descent, single birth. All right, perfect. And we will go ahead and delete the rest of these rows because they are not going to be having any more children because Mackenzie is no longer alive. And Carlie will not be getting remarried because she is not the main part of the family. She was married to someone that was the main part of the family, so Carlie will not be remarrying. So she will be raising these children alone. And that is just the way it goes. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to have her take care of this little one really quickly here, and we will age up little Acelia and give her her makeover and get her photo for the family tree. All right, she's just going to go throw away that trash really quickly, and then we'll have her go ahead and come on in and age up little Acelia here. And we will then do her makeover and get her photo for the family tree. Acelia is a Scorpio. It says, while somewhat withdrawn from social activities, Scorpios are forceful and determined in practical pursuits. They get along with another Scorpio and are often attracted to Pisces and Leo. They don't match with Leo or Aquarius. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into Cass and give Acelia her makeover and get her photo for the family tree. So Acelia is a sunny infant, and let's go ahead and give her her makeover. Alright, there is Acelia. Let's go ahead and get her picture for the family tree, and we are going to hop back into the game. Alright, so we are just going to continue on. It is currently April of 1381, just about to head into May of 1381. So we are just going to continue on here with the residence. As you can see, Carlie has her hands full. She has a Nora and she has a Celia here that she is raising on her own. She has just recently lost her husband, Mackenzie. And so she's having to get on with life as a single mother, which is something that she never really saw for herself. She did not think that she was going to have to be raising these children by herself. And she didn't think that anything was ever going to happen to her husband. She thought she was going to have a nice big family with him, and then he got smallpox and passed away, and now she just has these two little girls that she's taking care of by herself. She is, you know, deeply in love with Mackenzie. She doesn't see herself ever remarrying. She is sworn off love now, and she's just going to basically take care of her children and try to do right by Mackenzie by giving them all of her love and attention and trying to raise them to the best of her capabilities. She wants her girls to grow up knowing the love of their father and knowing about them, and she's going to try to raise them up in society as best she can and get them married off to someone very, you know, suited for them, and hopefully they will be able to find themselves love and they'll have a successful life and marriages later on in their future. She knows that the name is now going to die off, and she's very upset by that news, but there isn't really much that she can do about that because, you know, she did not bear him an heir. And so she's like, you know, there's really nothing that she can do. She did have a son, but he was stillborn. So there is no heir to, you know, that she has given him. So it's really, really upsetting. So we absolutely hate that for this family. That being said, they are pretty well off. As you can see, they have a nice big house. But she is unsure what she needs to do. She knows that she's going to have to probably end up getting a job outside of the house in order for them to be able to make ends meet. You know, Mackenzie had a little bit of a job that he worked outside of the house. I believe he was an archer, so he did bring in a little bit of money. She knows that she's going to have to probably do something outside of the house in order to help them to take care of their family. She's not, you know, naive enough to think that they're going to be able to take care of themselves otherwise. So I'm just going to get her to go ahead and start making a little bit of gruel for the family. That way they can get something to eat here. They are feeling a little bit hungry, so she's just going to make a little bit of things to eat here. It is currently May of 1381, and we also have a historical fact that we need to go over. So I am just going to show you that historical fact. So let's go ahead and hop over to that and go over that historical fact. So it does say on our historical fact that on the 15th of June in 1381, the Peasants Revolt is dispersed by Richard II at Smithfield, London. In the aftermath of the catastrophic Black Death, agricultural workers were in demand, but landlords were reluctant to pay higher wages or allow migration for work. Coupled with heavy taxation and unpopular government, it caused an uprising. The rebels converged on London. The Tower of London was stormed, and prominent individuals were executed. After rebel leader Wat Tyler was killed, Richard II successfully diffused the situation by promising concessions. Reprisals followed instead. So we do have here that there is a Peasants Revolt that is going to be taking place in June. So as soon as June does take place here in the game, we are going to be doing our Peasants Revolt. For that, we do have to roll a d10 for all male Sims 16 and older in England. If they roll a 1, they have to join the revolt. If the roll is a 6 to 10, they will remain uninvolved. So we are going to be rolling for all of our Sims that are males 16 and older in England here. And then we also, it says if we roll a d6 for each rebel, so anyone that is involved in the revolt, we'll roll a d6 for them. If they roll a 1 to 2, they are killed in the revolt. If they roll a 3 to 6, they survive. So we will have to find out who all is joining the revolt and then who we are killing in the revolt. So we are going to go ahead and start rolling on that. So as a matter of fact, I think we may go ahead and start with that so that we can deal with that now, because that is going to probably take us quite some time here. So that being said, let's go ahead and head over to our world view, and we will let them, we'll look and see who's in our families and how old they are and things of that nature. So we're just going to let her go ahead and take care of some of her needs here, and then we will why don't you grab yourself a serving of this food, love? All right. And then everyone's going to get themselves a little bit of much needed rest, I think. So they're just taking care of themselves. We absolutely love that. And they've gotten themselves something to eat. They've gone to the washroom and they're just carrying on with their little lives. We absolutely love that for them. But let's go ahead and head over to England and see about our families and start rolling for our revolt. Okay, so here's our first England world map. Obviously, we have Windenburg, which is our first England here. We have the Like family that we were just in. They obviously don't have any male Sims. Then we have the Meshram family, which does not have any male Sims that are teen and older. We have the Arundel family. Here we have Byron Arundel, so we will have to roll for him. We're going to roll a d10. If they roll a 1, they join the revolt. If they roll a 6 through 10, they remain uninvolved. So let's go ahead and pull up our dice and let's give it a roll. All right, so Byron is good. Then we have the Petechia household, where we have Leopold. Let's go ahead and roll for Leopold. He is also unharmed or unjoined as far as that goes. Then we have our monastery, which is Vero Ricci, the priest. I doubt he is going to, but we'll just see. Okay, he is going to join the revolt. All right, so we're going to roll a d6 and see if he is going to be killed. He survives the revolt. Then we have the Petechia house. She is by herself. Then we have the Berman's house. She is by herself. Then we have our Goodwell home with Robert Goodwell. We're going to roll our d10. A 3. So he's good. And then we have our house with Roger. And Roger is good as well. All right, then we're going to go over to Hemford on Bagley, which is our other England family. We have our Like family with no men. We have our Arundel family with Alan Arundel is good. Then we have Ivan Shoemaker, who is good. And the Like family with no men. And we have Peter McGrath, who is good. All right, so nobody goes to, well, we had one that went, but he survived the revolt. So we're good as far as the revolt goes. We didn't lose anyone. I'm going to go to the timeline and we're going to look on the War and Events tab and see about the revolt. If it's on here, it's not. Okay, that's fine. We are going to put Simon Petechia died of alcoholism. All right. And everyone has survived the events. Let's go ahead and go in and check on our main household, and we will finish out this last portion of the part 1 with our main household. Okay, we have arrived here at the main household. Let's go ahead and check in on Diana and see how she's doing. She seems pretty uncomfortable. I'm not sure what's wrong with her, but she does seem pretty uncomfortable currently. I wonder if she is in labor, since I can't see anything. Let's go see if she can have baby. Yes, she can. All right, so she is in labor currently as well. Let's go have her baby. All right, and they had a girl as well. So let's go ahead and open up the wheel for our baby names and see what we're going to name this baby. They're just not destined to have a boy, it would seem. They are going to name this baby Amira. Amira Goodwill. And it is a single birth. We are going to go ahead and roll the dice for mom and baby. So let's go ahead and we will open up our dice and we will see what we're going to get for mom. As we know, mom can't roll a 1. Mom rolls a 14 and survives. Baby needs an odd 8, 10, or 20. Baby rolls and gets a 17 and survives. Let's go ahead and open up our timeline, and we are going to put that Amira Goodwell has made it into the world. And Amira Goodwell is the daughter of Roger and Diana. She is the 5th generation female We are currently in May of 1381. Alive, British descent, single birth. And we are going to go ahead and age up little Amira. And we will go ahead and get her photo for the family tree.
Arvin. Oh, Ibenubu. Oh. Limba. Oh, lava.
All right, let's go ahead and age you up, Amira, and then we can get your photo for the family tree, and we will continue on with this last portion here of this episode. Amira also is a Scorpio. And a redhead. I don't know if that surprises you. All right, let's go ahead and hop into cast with her. Okay, Amira is a sunny infant, and let's give her her makeover. Okay, there is Amira Goodwill. Let's get her photo for the family tree. And let's jump back into the game. Right, we have gotten back into the main household here. This is wonderful news. We are just going to go ahead and let them continue on. And I am going to let them take care of some of their needs here. Diana is really in a bad way. She really is. I don't know what her deal is, but that's okay. Did she get all the weeding done out here? She can water and she can weed. I'm just going to get her to come out and take care of some of these chores here for the gardening. So we love that. All right, can you come out and take care of this animal? She needs to be fed, cleaned, and milked. There we go. Perfect. And clean the coop and collect the eggs. All right, so we are just working together here on the farm. Once again, we absolutely love that. And getting everything ready here, which is fantastic. It is just about June here of 1381 and time for us to wrap up this episode. And then we will continue on in part 2, where we are going to have a ton of birthdays that are coming down. We have a lot more people that need to be trying for babies, and so we are definitely going to need to be dealing with that. Speaking of trying for babies, we may go over and visit Genevieve again and see if we can get them to try for a baby, since they weren't able to try the last time we went and checked on them. But we have a lot of people that are going to be trying for babies, and a ton of birthdays in part 2 of 1381. So we definitely are going to be dealing with that. So for now, let's go check on Genevieve Petechia, see if we can get her pregnant again. Okay, it would seem that they are still quite sad. I'm going to have them console each other about the death, because as we know, they did lose a child. And so they are feeling pretty sad currently. But I do want them to go ahead and... Can you get down off of that? There. All right, now come over here and comfort him. Ask about his mood. And...
Molambide, Tevene, Lord Arena Crush, the Mib Denoba.
Give him a gloomy compliment. All right, he's in a pretty decent mood, so I'm going to get him to approach her about the baby.
Benchwe Kabaya? Yebs.
Wuniyabu?
Bro hooray.
So they're going to try to go mess around, see if they can go ahead and get pregnant again. Hopefully they'll be able to, because I do want them to be expecting. That is my goal for them anyway, is that they'll be able to get expecting, because I do want them to have another little one, because they did lose a little child here in this episode, and so we do want them to go ahead and be able to have another child. They're both feeling really, really flirty now after that little tryst in the shower, and they are going to go ahead and try for a baby. So hopefully this will go ahead and they will, you know, be expecting, which will be fantastic news for both of them. And we'll have her go ahead and come in here and pee on a piece of wheat and see if anything resulted of that. And she is eating for 2, so that's fantastic news. It is currently June of 1381. We are just heading into the last part here of the episode. We did just find out that we are expecting. She's just letting him know that she is expecting now. She's going to tell him that she's pregnant. She's going to console him about the death, because honestly, they you know, did just lose a baby, so she is consoling him about that. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in part 2 of 1381, where we are going to be seeing a lot of birthdays, some more births most likely, as well as trying for some more babies with more of our community members. And I will see you guys in the next one. But until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.